Callous Mind Talking Head Livecast, Episode 9 Sports, Politics, and Cultural Stories. Happy Election Day 2020, America. Man, I can't believe it. It's finally here. It's good, though. It's good. I hope everyone watching has already voted. And I feel bad for you if you did not, but plan to today on election day because I'm not a huge fan of standing in lines. So I voted a week ago, and I hope everyone has got their vote already submitted. So I want to invite you beautiful viewers to contribute to this live cast by leaving a comment in the live chat or in the comment section below if you're watching the replay. I also want to go ahead and apologize if you hear a fan behind me. It's still in the 90s in Arizona, and it's stuffy in here without this fan, so I got to have that thing going. I also want to remind those watching the replay that there are timestamps in the video description that allow you to jump to specific sections of this video if you so choose. I want to start this live cast by wishing all the November birthdays out there a very blessed and happy birthday. My daughter and I both have birthdays this month, so happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to Vanessa, Barbara, and Shane. I'm going to start this week's sports section of the show by talking about the Fall Classic, also known as the World Series, and the end of the Major League Baseball season. So, what had happened... What I didn't want to happen actually happened, which is, no big surprise there. But the Dodgers did end up winning the World Series, so congratulations to them. And but now the unfortunate part of that is that all next season we have to listen to the world champion Dodgers are coming to town, So wherever you may live, I'm sure you're going to hear that very same thing, and it just gets disgusting, especially when it's a division rival team like it is here for the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's funny that the Dodgers have won for the first time in forever, but I distinctly remember Game 1 of the 1988 World Series, and I know Adam, if he's watching right now, he remembers that game too. So... that just goes to, I'm just aging myself there by stating that I actually have a fond recollection and a distinct recollection of that game. So I want to continue on with the baseball stories. Chicago White Sox named Tony LaRussa, 76, their new manager. Man, I got to be honest with you guys. I really thought that Tony was done managing at this point, but it looks like he's not. This from October 29th, Tony LaRussa, the Hall of Famer, who won a World Series with the Oakland Athletics and 2 more with the St. Louis Cardinals, is returning to manage the Chicago White Sox 34 years after they fired him. LaRussa, 76, man, damn. Rejoins the franchise where his managing career began more than 4 decades ago. He takes over for Rick Renteria after what the White Sox insisted was a mutual agreement to split. We are extremely excited about the future of this team, General Manager Rick Hahn said Thursday. See, as we showed in 2020, this is a young, talented club that we expect to only grow better and better in the coming years. Adding in a Hall of Fame manager who is recognized as being one of the best in the history of the game, we are a step closer to our goal of bringing White Sox fans another championship. So, as with all the stories I highlight on the show, I will leave a link to this story in the description box below for those who are interested in reading it all the way through or seeing it for themselves. Okay, I want to start this week's NFL segment with a story I saw on ESPN.com on Friday. This particular story epitomizes the sports media. When things are going well, all is right with the world, and insert team is the greatest team since sliced bread. But the moment things begin to stray off the winning path, all of a sudden the sky is falling and the coach is, no good no more. It's the beginning of the end. The walls are closing in. Bombshells dropping everywhere. So there was a video clip, and I can't play it in this video for copyright purposes, but I will leave a link to this uh, video clip in the description box below this video. Uh, and the video is titled "Great Coach, Bad GM?" referencing Bill Belichik. And the thing about it is Bill Belichick has won what, 6 titles, and yeah, he may have won them all with Tom Brady and this and that, but if I'm not mistaken, Bill Belichick was the guy who drafted Tom Brady. So, and Drew Bledsoe was actually the quarterback that Tom Brady replaced. So I'm not going to sit here and say, Bill Belichick shouldn't be GM or this and that, because honestly, I don't really care, but I just think it's so funny how quickly people turn on coaches, general managers, players, and by people I mean media. But these guys got to come up with stories to write and stuff like that. So who cares? I mean, honestly, it's one dude's opinion and whatever, and maybe he's right. Maybe he's right, but I think Bill Belichick has earned just a little bit of leeway with those 6 titles. Maybe that's just me, but see, before I get into this week's picks, in sad cultural news, actor Sean Connery passed away on Saturday, October 31st, 2020. And you know what? Actually, before I kick off the talks of this week's picks and last week's results, I want to go ahead and talk about a couple of other NFL related stories. Uh, and damn, here it is. I forgot that I had one more baseball story too. So let's get to the baseball story first, and then we'll go on to the NFL stories. Bear with me one second here. Yeah, I thought this was interesting. John Lester used to pitch for the Red Sox, so this is kind of why this story interested me. Then he went to the Chicago Cubs, but this is a great story. Free agent John Lester spends $47,000 on beers for Chicago fans in possible farewell. How freaking cool is that, man? I mean, it's not like the dude doesn't have the jingle, so he's not hurting at all. Um, See, if free agent hurler John Lester has pitched his last game for the Chicago Cubs, he's going out on a high note with the fans. Lester, 36, bought beers for patrons over Halloween weekend at 4 Chicago bars, tweeting out his tab, which included a 34% tip, the same number he wore on his uniform. Lester spent $47,094.90 between Friday and Sunday, which included $31,082.63 on Miller Lights and $16,012.27 in gratuity. Man, how would you like to get a tip like that, boy? That's what I'm talking about. So his Monday tweet comes on the 4th anniversary of the Cubs winning the World Series for the first time in 108 years. Lester was the co-MVP of the NLCS that October. So pretty cool, and he brought receipts, so that's it's a heck of a thing to do for the fans. Pretty neat, and it'd be interesting to see if they keep John Lester or if they let him walk out the door. But either way, the guy seems like a very upstanding man, so that's cool. Very cool story. All right, so let me go ahead and jump into the NFL picks for NFL Week 8 pick results. 8 wins, 6 losses, 4 teams had byes this week. Pardon me while I get a drink, guys. Thursday night, Carolina Panthers lose. I'll tell you what, I have had just terrible, terrible luck on those Thursday night games, man. Just when, you know, you don't know what Atlanta is, they go to Carolina and they win, and, so that started my weekend, or my football week started terribly with a loss. Uh, Bills won, Titans lost. Now that really surprises me. The Titans going into Cincinnati and losing seemed very, very unlikely, but it happened, and this is the NFL, and that's really the epitome of the NFL. Anything can happen from week to week. See, Las Vegas Raiders play at Cleveland, so the Raiders go on the road in the cold weather and they win. That was a pretty ugly game, but the Raiders win. Hoist the colors, Raider Nation. The Raiders win. Indianapolis at Detroit. Indianapolis wins. Green Bay Packers. Wow. Minnesota has been so weird this year, and here they go into Lambeau and win on the road in Green Bay, giving my pick, the Green Bay Packers, the loss in that game. What a bunch of crap. New York Jets at Kansas City Chiefs. No big surprise there. Kansas City wins at home. Los Angeles at Miami. My God. The Rams go on the road to Miami against a rookie quarterback making his first start in the NFL, and they lose, man. Come on, dude. So Miami, man. Tell you what, Miami, Minnesota, Atlanta. Those are three teams, man. You just never freaking know what you're going to get from week to week. See, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. I took the Ravens, and they lost at home to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who seemingly have now announced themselves as the favorite to come out of the NFC North. I mean, they've taken care of one half of this doubleheader against Baltimore. So now all they have to do is beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh, and that should pretty much secure them the NFC North division. Los Angeles Chargers at Denver Broncos. The Chargers, man, you guys just could not hold on to the damn lead, and you ended up losing, and that, again, is ridiculous. So this week was just completely upside down as far as picks go. I should have been way better than that. All these teams had to do was be able to hold on to leads, and they couldn't even freaking do it. I mean, New Orleans, Chicago, good Lord. I believe that game ended up going to overtime, right? So it's like, what the hell, man? But New Orleans did hold on, and I got the win, thankfully. San Francisco at Seattle. Even that game started to get close at times, but Seattle did eventually pull away, and so that was another win for me. And then the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, good Lord, that was, I thought, much closer than it needed to be. I mean, both Philadelphia and Tampa had me nervous this week on Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football, respectively, because the games were a lot closer than they should have been. But I got the win on Sunday Night Football with Philadelphia. I got the win on Monday Night Football with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the NFL Week 8 pick results were 8 wins, 6 losses. And so that's a good thing. I mean, it's not great, but I'm still above 500, so I'll take it. So Week 9 picks. Here we go. Green Bay at San Francisco on Thursday night. San Francisco is really, really struggling and beat up with injuries right now. And I think the reality is that they may very well be done, depending on how their backup quarterback plays. But they have suffered a ton of injuries. So this is a no-brainer pick. I'll take Green Bay on the road at San Francisco Thursday night. Denver at Atlanta. Denver is feisty. I think Atlanta's feisty. I'm going to give Atlanta the leg up in this game because they are at home. So maybe they're going to go on a roll here and put a streak together. I will take Atlanta at home against the Denver Broncos. The Seattle Seahawks at the Buffalo Bills. This is a very, very interesting game. This could probably end up as a shootout and come down to either a field goal in the waning moments of regulation or go to overtime. But I'm going to take Buffalo at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Chicago at Tennessee. Man, after Tennessee went to Cincinnati and lost, I am a little reluctant to pick them in this game because Chicago played New Orleans well. And Chicago could easily go on the road and win this game, but I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Tennessee Titans and say that they win at home against the Chicago Bears. Baltimore at Indianapolis. I will take Baltimore for the win at Indianapolis. I mean, Baltimore's coming off of a loss at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're going to probably need to rebound quickly. So I will take Baltimore on the road at Indianapolis. Carolina at Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are so tough, especially at home. I don't think Carolina is going to win that game, so I'll take Kansas City at home against Carolina. Detroit at Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota is finally going to get their shit together. I mean, they just went to Green Bay and won. Maybe it's time for them to make noise against their divisional opponents. And so I will take Minnesota at home against Detroit. New York Giants at Washington football team, formerly known as the Redskins. I will take those Washington Redskins against those New York Giants. Even though those New York Giants just played a really, really scrappy game last night against what I believe to be a far superior team to them, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, but I got to do it. I'll take Washington at home against the New York Giants. Houston at Jacksonville. This is kind of a toss-up because both these teams have struggled pretty mightily so far this season. But in the end, I think Houston can get it done because I give them the win at quarterback, so I'm going to give them the win in the game. And so I'll take Houston at Jacksonville. Las Vegas Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers. This is a great AFC West matchup, and the Raiders really need this game for divisional purposes and all that. And really considering the Chargers just choked up a lead and lost to the Broncos, I don't think that they can compete with the Raiders. So I'll take the Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers. Pittsburgh at Dallas. God, that game is probably going to be the ugliest, most lopsided game of the weekend. I will, without a doubt, take Pittsburgh on the road at Dallas. Miami at Arizona. This is absolutely an interesting game, and as an aside to this game, I believe they're going to allow up to 4,200 fans in this particular game here in Arizona on Sunday. So I think they're going to allow 4,200 fans into the stadium, and that's very cool. But I will take my Arizona Cardinals at home against the Miami Dolphins. But I think that game will probably be pretty competitive because Tua seems to be like he's going to be pretty solid. So it should be interesting, probably competitive, but I'll take the Cardinals to win it. And then New Orleans at Tampa, a battle of the NFC South. This ought to be a real good game here. I believe this is their second matchup already for the season that they're done after this. Um, but I'll take Tampa Bay at home against New Orleans because I think Tampa's clearly going to win the NFC South. So I'll take them against New Orleans. And then New England at New York Jets on Monday Night Football. I will take New England. I believe the New England Patriots have lost 4 games in a row now. Um, and I think this is just what the doctor ordered for the New England Patriots to try to get right again. So I'll take New England on the road at the New York Football Jets. All right. Bear with me 1 second here, guys. Let me get my show notes going on again here. Let's see. Yeah, there's an interesting football story I wanted to add, and I didn't talk about it earlier. I guess I need to straighten my notes out a little bit better because they're a little discombobulated, and that's turning into a discombobulated show. Go ahead and check the stream out here and see if Adam's left me any comments. Yeah, there he is. See, I have blanked out the '88 World Series. Only recall the A's spanking the Red Sox every year in the playoffs. Yeah. Don't give Belichik any credit for the Brady selection. That was complete dumb luck. No one would ever imagine Brady would turn into the player he was. Well, that's true. He was sitting there until the 6th round. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have seen this story, but it looks like something's happened that I figured would have happened a long time ago, and that is somebody signed Dez Bryant to their practice squad. So the Baltimore Ravens signed Dez Bryant to practice squad, and this story was from October 27th. Baltimore Ravens signing the 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver to their practice squad. The team announced Tuesday Bryant has been out of the league for 2 years. Bryant appeared to acknowledge the deal in a tweet Tuesday. My emotions running high right now. I'm thankful. Can't stop crying. So my biggest question is when Bryant will suit up for the Ravens. Baltimore's wide receivers rank last in the NFL in receptions and receiving yards. Bryant, 31, could become a physical possession type receiver for reigning NFL MVP Lamar Jackson and can complement the speed of Marquise Brown. So I thought that was a pretty cool story. Then there was another football story. If I can get to it here. Yeah, so I don't know if everybody knows that or not too, but apparently Antonio Brown has signed with the Buccaneers. So says Bruce Arians, Antonio Brown looked fantastic during his first workout with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and this was from October 28th. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians said wide receiver Antonio Brown looked fantastic in his first day of work with the Bucs. He looks fantastic. I think we had really good conversations today. He and I, Arians said Wednesday, the first day Brown could enter the facility because incoming players are required to test 6 consecutive days for the coronavirus, and if negative on the 5 previous tests, may enter on the 6th day. He was in the meetings and everything, and he's working with Anthony Paroli and the strength staff. He looks in great shape. Yep, ready to go next week. Brown, in the final week of his 8-game suspension for multiple violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy, however, so he was permitted only to work out with the strength and conditioning staff and attend meetings. he was not allowed to practice with the team. So that's an interesting story. And then I got one more here that is an aside, or I should say for a different sport here, because this is about the NBA, this next story. So interesting here. NBA revenue for 2019-2020 season dropped 10% to $8.3 billion, sources say. The NBA's revenue dropped 10% to $8.3 billion for the 2019-2020 season amid losses because of the coronavirus pandemic, according to financial numbers shared with teams and obtained by ESPN. The balance of the finances included an $800 million loss in gate receipts and a $400 million loss in sponsorships and merchandise, sources said. The NBA's losses included $200 million in deemed net negative impact from a months-long splintering of a partnership with China in the aftermath of the Daryl Morey tweet promoting Hong Kong freedom a year ago, sources said. As the NBA and National Basketball Players Association discussed start dates and financial amendments to the collective bargaining agreement, the potential for a grim financial landscape without fans in the 2021 season looms over the league. So the 2019-2020 season losses are slight in comparison to what awaits the NBA in 2020-2021 if the season advances without fans and accompanying gate night receipts. The league told teams a projected 40% loss in overall revenue, or approximately $4 billion. Damn, that's a lot of jangle. Whew. Man. So, I think that's a pretty good show for this week. Trying to think if I had anything else. Let me go ahead and check the comments one more time here. Alright. Alright, well, I will go ahead and sign off for this week. I hope you guys all got out and voted. If you didn't, please go out and do so. It's very, very important. And I hope you guys all have a great week until I talk to you next week, which actually will be the day before Veterans Day. So until next week, I will see you next Tuesday, November 10th at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to y'all later.